Well, a very good evening and welcome to the Willows for this evening's Greenhalgh's Lancashire Cup semi-final tie between Salford and Leigh. And here are the teams for tonight's match. First of all, the home side, Salford. Playing in red and white this evening will line up as follows: 1, Steve Gibson; 2, Tex Evans; 3, Martin Burkitt; 4, Peter Williams; 5, Adrian Hadley; 6, David Fell; 7, Steve Kerry; 8, Ian Sherratt; 9, Mark Leigh; 10, Chris Whiteley; 11, Arthur Bradshaw; 12, the skipper Ian Blease; and 13, Andy Burgess. And the Salford substitutes for this evening are at 14, Frank Cassidy, and 15, Peter Tonks. The Leigh side is at 1, Paul Topping; 2, Barry Ledger; 3, John Woods; 4, Ian Jeffrey; 5, Mick Round; 6, David Ruane; 7, the skipper Bob Beardmore; 8, Mark Shields; 9, Peter Rapati; 10, Brian Case; 11, Andy Collier; 12, Ian Potter; and 13, John Westhead. And the two substitutes for Leigh this evening are at 14, David Hill, and 15, Tony Cottrell. Our referee for this evening is Mr. Kevin Allett from Southport. Arneson to do the summarising. Both these clubs, of course, are in the second division this season, having been relegated along with Barrow last term, but both have 100% records to this season to date. Salford must undoubtedly be the team of the season so far, having beaten 3 first division clubs to reach tonight's semi-final. A preliminary round victory at Rochdale was followed by wins here at the Willows over Oldham and St Helens, and added to that, they opened their league programme with a victory at Barrow 3 days ago by 31 points to 0. The visitors Leigh reached this stage with home victories over 2 second division clubs, Swinton and Fulham, and opened their second division account by winning by 22 points to 6 at Batley last Sunday. So Bob Beardmore, the Leigh skipper, gets the game underway. A reminder that it's the Greenhalgh's Lancashire Cup semi-final, and it's Salford in possession on the right, on their own 25. 3-man reception committee from Leigh. Leigh now gets it out well. So here comes Salford, trying to clear their lines. Just outside their own 25. Kick comes in from Kerry. Big round, the Leigh wingman takes at the second attempt. Tries to crash through Blease's tackle, but good tackling from Salford. And we'll see what the visitors can do. First time in possession. Beardmore now behind the play of the ball. Brings in Case. Shrugs off Blease. Good tackle in the end from Blease. Wild pass picked up by Beardmore for Leigh. Fine break though by Collier. Gets it inside well to Jeffrey. It's kicked on by David Ruane. The ball goes out of play. We'll just bring in Jim at this point. A bright start for the visitors, Jim.
Yes, that was a very good break from out of their own territory by Leigh. Beardmore made the initial pass, which seemed to open up a gap in the Salford defence, and it was carried on very well by the players. Unfortunately, the final pass went astray and was kicked into touch.
First penalty of the day goes to Leigh for second row feeding against Steve Kerry. Paul Topping, the Leigh fullback, will kick for touch. Leigh will certainly want to capitalise on this early attacking position. The Rapati with the tap 10 yards out. On to Case. Tattle comes in from Bradshaw. Leigh right under the Salford post. Rapati tries to take them on from acting half-back. Burgess is in on that stop. Charge from Shields this time. Good defence from Salford. It's really needed. Good early pressure from Leigh. But Bradshaw with the stop this time for Salford. Leigh still 5 yards out. Case to Potter. Leigh have lost their way though a little. David Ruane now tries to dodge his way through. Good tattle from Carey. Good defence from Salford. Rapati now. Beardmore. Kick comes through. It's a break on here for Williams. Williams looking for Hadley outside. Hadley with the pace. Good defence though by Ledger. And Topping for Leigh. The excitement of the cup tie getting to both sides, but despite the fact that we have two second division sides on display this evening, they've both shown in these opening 4 minutes that they're prepared to run at their opponents, and both coaches Kevin Tamati and Alex Murphy will be pleased with the start that both sides have made. And now the Leigh fullback Paul Topping is penalised in that tattle, and Salford get their first penalty of the game. Almost 4 minutes gone, no points on the board as yet. So Kerry puts it out on the 25. Leigh with the tap. First man in is Whiteley and takes play into the Leigh 25. That's the deepest Salford have been into Leigh territory. There's Sherratt. Great tackling though by Case. Leigh penalised a second time. John Woods now for lying on at the tattle. Referees this season, of course, have been told to clean up the play the ball, keep the game moving. And Steve Carey is going to go for goal to try and open Salford's account. I'll just bring Jim in. Jim, a good reply from Salford.
Yes, the defence, as it's been all season, was very good under that fierce onslaught by the Leigh team, and when the pass finally, when the move finally broke down among the Leigh backs, Salford quickly pounced on it and were up the other end of the field. Unfortunately, a bit of heat was generated in the tackle, and from then we've seen 2 penalties, and Steve Carey now attempting to open Salford's account here.
Thank you, Jim. The first attempt of the evening to get points on the board. No mistake from the Salford scrum half. 5.5 minutes of the game gone. Steve Carey's penalty opens the scoring. It's Salford 2 points, Leigh 0. So Beardmore back at the centre with the restart for the visitors. It's taken by Bradshaw, stopped on the 25. Leigh now behind the play the ball. Bring in Bradshaw again. Now Leigh penalised again for 2 men marking the play of the ball. Carey once more with the kick for touch. So Leigh with the tap on halfway, brings in Sherratt. Leigh once more, brings in the loose forward Burgess this time. Leigh using the short side, but a reverse pass, a great break by Fell. But Fell with a man outside him in the shape of Bradshaw, elected to try and dummy Topping. Good defence by Leigh, but good attack from Salford. Half break there from Carey. Leigh quick to close it with Beardmore. Sherratt tries to shove them off. Leigh managed to stop the ball in the tattle. Last one indicates our referee Kevin Allett. And I think the penalty will go against Martin Burkitt for obstruction, putting the shoulder into a Leigh player. Relief for the visitors, and Topping will take the kick for touch. Well, Topping finds touch midway between his own 25 and halfway. Shields first man in. Good charge. Brought down by Sherratt. Party going from acting half back. Makes another 10 yards. Takes play into the Salford half. Potter now. Potter going on the charge. Leigh going forward. Good yardage gain by the Leigh forwards on this occasion. Collier almost through, but Bradshaw with the last ditch tattle. Beardmore now. On to Westhead. Good tattle by his opposite number, Burgess. The ball comes off David Ruane. Dropped on by Peter Topping. Referee has given a turnover and possession to Salford. So here comes Whiteley driving in for Salford. Leigh just taken aback a little by that decision, but it was a charge kick. Not all on. Here comes the break from skipper Blease. Gets it away well to Leigh. Salford looking very sharp in these opening minutes. Bradshaw now gets it out to Burgess. Bradshaw behind the play the ball now for Salford. Moves it right. Short ball to Carrick. Tremendous tackle there coming in from Collier. Now with Burgess. Burgess launches the eye up and under. Well, that was a terrible thing for Ian Blease, the Salford skipper, to do. He was there long before the ball to concede the penalty. Well, I'm not surprised that the referee is having words. And certainly Ian Blease not leading by example on that occasion. So Paul Topping with the relieving kick for the visitors. Certainly Salford settled better in these opening 10 minutes. They just lead by 2 points to 0 at the moment. Shields first man in. Bradshaw with the stop. Rapati brings in Westhead. Good tackling by the prop forward Sherratt and Whiteley. And this time a penalty has been given. Again at the play of the ball, you get their 4th penalty of the match. Topping punishes Salford well for that one. Finds touch 10 yards inside Salford territory. Rapati with the tap now. First man in his case. Rapati once more. Tries to catch them out again from acting half back. Stopped just short of the 25. Ruane now to Potter. To Beardmore. To Collier. Collier tries to break through. Good defence from Bradshaw. Leigh up to the Salford 25 once more. Woods now to Beardmore. To Ruane. He loses it, but Beardmore gets it back. John Woods looking for pace off the mark, but runs into a tattle from Whiteley. Certainly when Leigh get into the last quarter of the field, Salford know just how to defend. Beardmore with the kick, straight into Evans' hands though. Good defence from Round. Salford back in possession in their own 25. Here comes Gibson from acting half back. Fullback wants to join in the action at every opportunity. Whiteley, good charge. Now Leigh moving it out. On to loose forward Burgess. Leigh once more. The kick will come in from Carrick. Good deep kick. Sits up. Nicely for Round. Round gets away from Cassidy, but not Burkitt. And Leigh get another penalty at the play of the ball. The referee has quite clearly set his stall out for both sides that he does not want any interference at the play of the ball. He wants the game to continue at every opportunity. Topping puts it out again on the far side. Rapati now hands it on to Shields. Solid defence coming in from Whiteley. Reparty once more to Beardmore. On to Potter. Westhead goes without it. Leigh keep moving. All on, says the referee. Wood still going. Tattle comes in from Hadley. Leigh a little fortunate there. Topping now. Gets it out to Beardmore. Leigh with a good line out. Ruane tries to straighten it up. Good defence from Burgess. Leigh almost got Salford on the hop then. Reparty going from acting half back. Gets it inside to Case. To Topping now. Topping loses the ball. Leigh get it back. Well, it appeared to come off a Salford player, but Leigh had a fortunate break a few moments ago. And with 13 and a half minutes go, a quick word from you, Jim.
Yes, well, it's really livening up into what we expected. It's, after all, this is a semi-final tie, and there's a free kick for a scrum infringement. I must say that it's very different this season from last season, when practically anything went at the scrums. I'm sure the players are as confused as some of the commentators and spectators over the way the rules are changing constantly in that regard.
Well, the referees are under instruction to clean the game up in all shapes and forms, and certainly scrummaging is one of them. Leigh now, first man in is Sherratt. Gets away from Reparty's Tattle, but not Woods. Salford on the move once more with Mark Leigh. First man in this time is Whiteley. Case and Reparty with the stop for Leigh. Kerry now. Kerry gets it back. Leigh read that one well. Gibson behind the play of the ball now. Brings in Fell. Good combination from the standoff on the fullback on that occasion. Kerry now behind the play of the ball. Moves it right. To loose forward Burgess. Salford still short of the Leigh 25 on the last Tattle. Bomb comes in from Kerry. Well taken though by Topping, and then Peter Williams is penalised, because another new rule is that a man in an offside position must give the receiving player 10 yards with which to play. So Topping with the kick for touch.
I think there was Peter Williams was actually appealing that he's claiming that he was behind the kick. Whether he was or he wasn't, the free kick was given for offside, not giving the fullback 10 metres from the kick.
Thank you, Jim. Brian Case now stopped 5 yards short of the halfway line. Leigh in possession once more. John Westhead going nowhere. Chris Whiteley with the stop for the home side. Reparty once more. On to Beardmore. Now to Ruane. Pass to Topping was forward, says referee Allett. We'll scrum it 10 yards inside the Leigh half, and we'll see what happens at this scrum. We've had penalties for second row feeding so far. Front row not getting down correctly. In fact, we've yet to have a clean scrum. Steve Kerry to feed. 16 minutes gone. Salford ahead 2-0. And Beardmore comes up with that one for Leigh. Takes play back into the Salford half. Ruane now, out to Jeffrey. Jeffrey looking to reverse the roles, but he couldn't get away from Burkitt. Collier now. Whiteley and Blease with the stop for Salford. Reparty, on to Woods. Shields. Potter couldn't get the ball away as Fell got the tattle in. Salford not prepared to give Leigh any room to work with. Kick comes in from Beardmore. Finds touch, 10 yards short of the home 25, and we'll try another scrum over on the far side. Referee Kevin Allett consulting with his touch judge on the far side. Wants to calling out Andy Burgess, the Salford loose forward, for something. But not penalising him. So it'll be Kerry to feed. Leigh are penalised this time. This man in is Evans now. Tattle from Westhead for Leigh. There goes Whiteley now. Leigh once more, on to Blaze, back to Leigh. Ball knocked down in the tackle. Salford regain possession. Referee gives the knock on. Mark Leigh claiming that Leigh had knocked that ball down in the tackle, but referee consulted his touch judge on this near side, and there'll be more to feed. Possession to Leigh. We're away now, but Bradshaw out of the scrum quickly. Good defence, closing Leigh down in centre field. Woods now. Good tattle from Fell. Shields now. That's better from Leigh, but this Salford defence giving nothing away at the moment. Reparty. Kick comes in from Ruane. Just drives Gibson back, takes it 10 yards from his own try line. Ruane and Reparty make the stop for Leigh. Salford in possession inside their own 25. Kerry now hands it on to Hadley. Westhead up quickly. It's Leigh's turn to try and force the opposition back. Good tackling from Westhead once more. Here comes Sherratt. He bounces off one tackle, throws the ball away in the end. Beardmore gets it for Leigh. On to Potter. To Woods. A bit of a hospital pass. Williams quickly in with the tackle, but Leigh back in possession, 10 yards outside the home 25. Good charge this time from Potter for Leigh. Woods gets it out now to Case. Good tackle again from Burgess. Collier on the break this time for Leigh. Good tackling though by Mark Leigh this time. Kick ahead comes from Ruane. Gibson picks it up, beats one tackle, and then loses the ball, and Leigh get possession back. So Woods had to play the ball on the home 25. Well, a bit of a skirmish between Whiteley and Case off the ball, but officials say saw nothing. The tackle coming in this time from Leigh on Shields. Well, Reparty forced to go on his own then. David Ruane receiving treatment for Leigh, but Leigh within 5 yards of that Salford try line. Woods now. And Westhead drops the ball with the line at his mercy. The half break from John Woods, but the final pass not good enough. Chance scores a begging. That's the best chance for a try we've had in this opening 21 minutes. And now here comes Hadley for Salford. And both sides beginning to get their game together. Blease behind the play of the ball. Two men marking the play of the ball again. Salford get their sixth penalty of this first half. Leigh have also had 6. So Kerry once more puts the ball out 10 yards inside the Leigh half. David Ruane still down receiving treatment in the Salford 25. So can Salford capitalise on this extra man? Here comes Whiteley on the charge. Leigh now on to Sherratt. Sherratt with the break, and it's a fine try for David Fell. Salford get the first try of the game under the Leigh post. Great break that one, Jim.
Well, from an incident at the club end of the ground when Leigh looked to be scoring.
Capitalise on the extra man, and the man missing due to injury was David Ruane. He's fit to continue now, but Salford have got that vital first try, 6 points ahead. Kerry with the conversion attempt from in front of the Leigh post. No mistake from the scrum half. 23 minutes of this first half gone in this Greenhalgh's Lancashire Cup semi-final. It's now Salford 8 points, Leigh 0. So Bob Beardmore back at the centre with the restart once more for Leigh. Like Jim said, Leigh missed an opportunity at one end, and full credit to Salford to go the length of the field and pick up a try at the other end. So a bad mistake there by David Fell, and Leigh will have head ball at this scrum 15 yards out. Leigh really need to get back at Salford as quickly as possible. They win the scrum. Topping tries to crash through. Collier now. Leigh going in ones at the moment. Salford's defence will take that all evening. Potter sets the drive up. Leigh still 15 yards out. Rapati now to Beardmore. On to Ruane. To Wested. To Jeffrey. Jeffrey stopped by Evans, but Leigh still on the Salford 25. Beardmore now, no one with him. Woods forced to come back inside. Leigh lost their way a little, but full credit to the Salford defence. Kick ahead by Rapati was going nowhere. Picked up by Bradshaw. Leigh going from acting half-back. Leigh now. Leigh once more. Good charge from Whiteley this time. Leigh behind the play the ball again. Now it's Sherratt once more. It's the last tackle this time, indicates the referee. Fell puts in the kick. Useful looking kick. Bounces kindly for Salford. Finds touch inside the Leigh 25, and Salford wanting to play the game in Leigh territory. So we'll scrum it once more. Scrum's 3-0 in Leigh's favour at the moment. Beardmore to feed. Leigh come up with that one. Ledger stopped in front of his own post. What can Leigh do in reply? They really need points before the interval. And it's skipper Beardmore leading from the front. Rapati now to Potter. Tattle from Blease and Burgess. Well, Potter didn't appear to play that ball back, and Leigh wasted a tattle really. Beardmore, kick from Topping. Straight down centre field. Easy for Gibson, just outside his own 25. Doesn't get away from Collier though. Now the referee penalises him for playing on. Well, he appeared to let Steve Gibson get up and continue. And Salford wanted to make a substitution. Chris Whiteley coming off. And on will come Peter Tonks, the Australian, who only arrived this week. Make his debut for the home club. And John Woods with his first attempt of the evening. In fact, it's Paul Topping who's taken over the goal kicking role. Join Leigh in the close season from nearby Swinton. Topping's first attempt of the evening. Cheers to our left, say it all. The Leigh supporters congregated behind the post to our left. Well, just bring Jim in, that should lift Leigh and bring them back into this game a little, Jim.
That should. I have a feeling that the Leigh fans are delighted that at least they've got 2 points back at this stage of the game. I think the Salford fans are rather aggrieved in that they felt that Gibson had not really been tackled completely and was struggling to get out of the tackle when the referee penalised him. Anyway, that's the score, 8 points to 2 in Salford's favour.
Thank you, Jim. A good deep kick, well read by the Leigh fullback, Topping again. Solid defence again from Fell. Salford will want to keep Leigh in their own 25. Beardmore again leading from the front for Leigh. Another penalty for holding down. That's Leigh's 8th penalty of this first half. With 11 and a half minutes of the half remaining, and Salford are ahead by 8 points to 2. So Leigh will tap 10 yards inside their own half. 2 balls on the field at the moment. So a party with the tap now. Bring in Potter. Tunks quickly in on the action. 2 men marking the play of the ball. Blease and Tunks. A misunderstanding. Penalty count now 9-6 in Leigh's favour, and Topping with the kick for touch once more. It's a fine kick that from Topping. Leigh now within 5 yards of their opponent's 25-yard line. Rapati now to Shields, back to Rapati. Bring in Case, he just runs into Bradshaw's tackle. Burgess in with the stop as well. Rapati on to Shields, gets away from Tunks. Tunks got him in the end though. Rapati now, terrible ball to Ruane, but Collier picks up the pieces for Leigh, but Leigh certainly not as organised as Salford when in possession. Beardmore now, inside to Woods, onto Ruane. Leigh want too much room. Westhead now. Leigh go backwards, good defence again from David Fell. Full credit to this Salford defence in this first half. The party tries to take them on his own, stopped by Leigh and Tunks. Last tackle indicates the referee. Woods throws it back to Topping. Topping with the drop goal, and it's there. Leigh are going to get there by 1 point or 2s, but Paul Topping's drop goal narrows the score. It's now Salford 8 points, Leigh 3. Just bring you in, Jim. Leigh want points every time they come down this end, really.
Well, they say, those who are knowledgeable about the game, if you get in your opponent's territory like that, you should never come away without scoring, and 1 point is better than an aimless kick that the other side gather and come back at you with.
Well, Leigh have made a substitution at this stage. Tony Cottrell coming on to replace Ian Potter, and Steve Carey with the restart for Salford. Once again a fine deep kick, but again Topping makes that one his own, and Topping is prostrate on the ground. The referee stops play. Certainly appeared to be a high tackle go in, which didn't seem to connect. To see what the referee's decision is, I'm sure he's going to let play continue. Just over 8 minutes of this first half remaining here at the Willows. It's the Greenhalghs Lancashire Cup semi-final, and it's a scoreline at the moment of Salford 8 points, Leigh 3. It's the Leigh fullback Paul Topping. He's receiving treatment inside his own 25.
You do not change ends at half time. First of all, to stay where you are, please, at half time. Do not change ends. Safety for everyone concerned. Go to the top end, especially by the carpet there. In front of the north side, please stay.
He looks fit to continue. What's the referee going to give? He's going to give play on and possession to Salford. So can Salford get anything else before the interval? Here goes Tunks, first man in. Tattle comes in from Westhead for Leigh. Leigh moves it now to Fell. Fell dummies, Leigh all fall for the dummy. Gets the ball out as well. Salford going forward once more. Leigh's good long ball. Ball is dropped by Gibson. A let-off for the visitors. Salford were really looking good on that occasion. Leigh clear their 25. It's now a party behind the play the ball. Brings in Shields. And Cottrell on the charge. Couldn't get the ball away in the tattle. Sheraton Burgess made the stop. And that looks an elbow there from Tunks, but he seemed to get away with it on Collier. Last tattle indicates the referee. Topping puts in the kick, but that's right into the welcome arms of Gibson. He falls at the feet of Westhead, but Salford are back in possession. 6 minutes of the half remaining. Ball's out to Williams. Gets away from Ledger, but not Woods. Hadley going alone from acting half-back. Leigh now. Bring in Tunks. Cottrell with the stop. Leigh using the short side. Puts in the kick for Hadley to chase. Put out of play by Ledger. Taking no chances. Gives Salford a good attacking position. So we head and ball for Salford at this scrum. Scrum's 4-0 in Leigh's favour so far in this first period. Steve Carey to feed. Possession to Salford. Out to Fell. Fell tries to take the Leigh defence on. Salford really need a try from this position. Bradshaw on the charge now. Beardmore in on that stop for Leigh. Good defence again by Leigh. A well-worked move from Salford, but it didn't just come off. Tunks now behind the play the ball. Fell again, tries to come inside. And Leigh are penalised 20 yards away from the play. John Woods in an offside position gives Salford the 7th penalty of this first half. Salford must go for goal from this position. I think David Ruane is down injured for Leigh once again. So Salford 7th penalty. Leigh have had 9, but it's Salford who have a 5-point advantage at the moment. And so close to the interval. Just 3.5 minutes away. Steve Carey will be quite happy to put this one over. Three out of 3 for the Salford scrum half. Just the points they wanted at this stage, Jim.
Yes, Leigh could well have done without going another 2 points behind there. At 8 points to 3, a try and a goal puts them in front. But now it's 10-3 and twice to score to capture the lead. It's certainly been, I've seen this week 2 recordings of first division matches, and I have to say this, here are 2 teams in the second division, and for my money they're playing far better football than I've seen from the first division so far this season.
Well, I'll endorse those words, Jim. Both these sides have belied their second division status so far this evening. David Hill now coming on to replace the injured David Ruane. Hill no doubt will go into the centre and Woods to stand off. Once again, Beardmore with a restart for the visitors. Evans now for Salford. Strong running Salford wingman, almost caught Leigh out. Cottrell was the man making the stop. Good tattle this time from Collier for Leigh. Now Leigh behind the play the ball. Rings in Tunks. Takes 3 men to stop him. Leigh behind the play the ball. Brings in Burgess. Short ball. for Kerry. Burgess once more, on to Leigh. Leigh with the kick, forces Ledger to cover back again. This time he allows it to go out of play to give Leigh the head and ball, well, the scrum feed at any rate. Loose head, of course, will go to Salford. Just 90 seconds of normal time remaining in this first period. Salford 10 points to 3 in the lead. Leigh really desperate for points before the interval. Ledger tries to take on Fell, but there's no way through there. And Salford will tattle all night. They've certainly had the tattling bags out in training, one can see that. Now we have 2 men marking the play of the ball. And Leigh will get the 10th penalty of this first half. So it'll be Paul Topping with the relieving kick to touch. Fine kick again from the Leigh fullback. A party with the tap for the visitors. Shields stopped on halfway. Leigh and Williams with the stop for Salford. Case now. Good tattle again from Peter Williams. Rapati tries to take them on, but Sherratt makes the stop this time. Woods now on to Cottrell. Cottrell nowhere to go there. Runs into Tunks and Bradshaw. Woods tries to go it alone. Gets it away to Shields. Out to Hill. Great tattle though by Williams. Last tattle, Leigh going nowhere really. Kick ahead from Ledger, straight into Kerry's hands. Gets the ball away well to Hadley. Tattle comes in from Rapati for Leigh. Gibson goes from acting half-back. Just makes a couple of yards. Leigh behind the play of the ball this time, on to Tunks. Cottrell with the stop. Cottrell called out for use of the knee, I think. And Cottrell gets 10 minutes in the sin bin. So nothing going Leigh's way at the moment. Well, Leigh can hardly just start suffering from a lack of discipline. 7 points behind. We're into added time at the end of this first half. Salford will want to capitalise on that extra man once more. They did last time. Tunks drives in again. Leigh stop him short of the 25. Leigh moves it to Sherratt. Good play again, this time from Bradshaw. Salford looking good. Here comes Kerry. They bring in the skipper Blease. Leigh stop him 10 yards out. Leigh cannot afford to concede points before the interval, and Salford want to make the most of that. The ball is dropped though by Burgess. And Fell makes the tattle on Topping. Oh, Leigh get a penalty for offside. So it'll be Topping with the relieving kick for Leigh once more. Takes play up to halfway this time. That's a far better kick from the Leigh fullback. So Rapati now. Leigh didn't quite know what they were doing on that occasion, but there goes the hooter to bring to an end the first half of this evening's Greenhalgh's Lancashire Cup semi-final tie. It's a half-time scoreline of Salford 10 points, Leigh 3. A Leigh player prostrate on the ground. So on behalf of Jim Arneson and myself, this is Derek Disley saying we hope you'll rejoin us for the second half. No, it's 13.
Go down to the same now, please. Right-hand side corner of the social club. Thank you.
Well, welcome back for the second half of this evening's Greenall Lancashire Cup semi-final tie here at the Willows. A reminder that Salford lead Leigh by 10 points to 3. Salford have appeared in 11 previous finals, winning on 5 occasions. Leigh have reached 12 finals, winning on 4 occasions. Ledger takes the ball from the kick-off. Leigh, of course, down to 12 men, with Tony Cottrell still in the sin bin. So Rapati going from acting half-back. Good tackle coming in from Bradshaw. Case now for Leigh. But a great tackle by Williams. Topping puts in the kick. Evans takes that one well. And Salford back in possession, 10 yards inside the Leigh half. Here comes skipper Blease. Case and Colley with the stop for Leigh. Salford looking to capitalise on this extra man. Good tackle though by Rapati on Burgess. Here comes Tunks now, sidestepping inside. Good sidestep for a big man. Bradshaw. Good defence from Leigh. Last tackle indicates our referee Kevin Allett. Shot goal attempt, I think, from Mark Leigh is wide. Relief for the visitors, and Leigh will tap from their own 25. So Salford come out as determined as they were in the first period. Westhead tries to drive up centre field. Party now on to Case. The reception committee's there again though. Shields now trying his luck up centre field, but again solid defending by these Salford forwards. Beardmore now tries to get Jeffrey away, but a good tackle coming in from loose forward Burgess. Burgess makes the stop again on Rapati. It's the last one, indicates the referee. Woods with the short kick ahead, but well read and well taken by Leigh. Good tackle from Woods, but Salford back in possession inside their own half. Knocked on though by Bradshaw. Leigh in the wars once more. Skipper Bob Beardmore holding his shoulder now. Well, the referee stops the clock. Beardmore, of course, is the man to feed the scrum when it finally gets down. Just bring in Jim. Good start again by Salford, Jim.
Yes, Salford have got this method this season of trying to keeping their opposition pinned in their own half. The defence is excellent compared with the awful performances we had in many games last season. It's been very much improved. And there's quite a few teams at any level in rugby league at the moment will find it very, very difficult to score against Salford. Leigh are playing very well, but they find it very difficult to break through this defensive wall.
First scrum of the second half goes the way of Leigh. Woods tries to make the break. Gibson gets in the tackle. And then Salford spoil it again at the play of the ball. Well, the referee has set his stall out quite firmly in the first half. And players should have learned by now that he will not stand for any nonsense at the play of the ball. Leigh supporters now trying to raise their side. As Case is the first man in, takes play into the home 25. What can 12-man Leigh do with this attack? Good run from Shields. Leigh within 10 yards now of that Salford try line. The party tries to go it alone. The referee has given Leigh a penalty. Well, I certainly didn't see anything then. Beardmore elects to kick the ball backwards to give his side a little more room with which to work, and it's Rapati with the tap 10 yards out now for Leigh. So good position for Leigh in these opening minutes of the second half. Woods now. Woods tries to electrify the scene, but Salford's defence will stand no nonsense this evening. Rapati again going from acting half back, but Salford just won't give Leigh the room with which to work. Ledger now on to Beardmore. Again, good defence from Salford. Leigh move it left now with Woods. On to Jeffrey. Collier. It away to Wested. Good tackle from Evans. Good play by both sides. Collier moves it left now to Beardmore. On to Shields. Last tackle indicates the referee as another Leigh player's down injured. This time it's Jeffrey. Round goes from acting half back but concedes the turnover. Second turnover of the game in Salford's favour. So can Salford drive clear of their own 25-yard line, or can Leigh keep them there? Break is on from Gibson. Good defence for Leigh by Rapati. But here comes Tunks now. He gets that ball away well. Now with Fell. Salford looking good on attack now. A good line out now for Salford. It's now out with Williams. He's got Adley with him. Comes back inside. Salford still on the move. Good play. Brilliant play by Salford. Evans on the charge now. Good play by Salford. Full credit to the Leigh defence though. Here comes Burgess. Now with Williams, and he slips at the feet of Round. Can Leigh hold them out, or can Salford stretch their advantage now? Burgess with the kick. Straight into the welcome arms of the Leigh fullback Paul Topping. But the crowd rise to that break by Salford. Beardmore again leading his side from the front. Case now. But again the tackling is spot on from this Salford side. Kevin Tamati has done a superb job with them. Jeffrey now. And Evans with the stop, and Leigh are still short of their own 25 on the last tackle. Here comes Topping now. Inside to Shields. Shields launches the big kick. But Gibson likes those very much. He'll take those all evening. Goes down centre field. Stop is made in the end by substitute Hill. Salford with a good line out again. Tunks, and Hill makes the stop once more for Leigh. Leigh moves it on now to Kerry. Inside to Williams. Salford looking really good at this point. Leigh's defence being put to the test. Salford almost up to the Leigh 25. Move it right. Kerry now on to Fell. Kerry drops it though. Well, the referee allows all on. Burkitt comes up with the ball. Collier gets the tackle in. Last one indicates the referee. Kick ahead. Leigh ball watching. Leigh come up with possession. So Leigh in possession with Topping just outside their own 10-yard mark. Good spell this from Salford early in this second period. Case stopped short of the 25. Rapati now. On to Wested. Attempted high tackle from Blease. Went wildly over Wested on that occasion. Woods now. It's now out to Hill. Great defence though again. Salford don't miss many first time tackles. Beardmore with the kick. Well taken by Hadley now. Gets away from Collier's tackle, but not Hill. Leigh, of course, still down to 12 men at the moment. Woods bundles Bradshaw to the ground. Salford just inside the Leigh half. Here comes skipper Blease. In fact, Cottrell's in on that tackle, so Leigh back to their full complement now. And in fact, Leigh come up with the ball. Ledger now. We know he's got pace, but can he find a gap for Leigh? No, because Burkitt and Fell just won't allow him any room whatsoever. Jeffrey now trying his luck up centre field. Fine break by Jeffrey. Good cover though by Kerry. That's the best we've seen of Leigh. Round now on to Beardmore. To Rapati. A great tackling again by Tunks. Woods now for Leigh. On to Weston. To Woods now. Woods tries to ghost his way through, but there's no way past Bradshaw and Tunks. Two men marking the play of the ball. Leigh gets another penalty. Well, as Paul Topping attempts this conversion this penalty kick at goal to try and reduce Leigh's deficit, just bring Jim in. Good spell this from Salford, Jim.
Well, yes, some brilliant attacking football there from Salford. Some of it from right out of defence, which is always a sign that the team is confident. You know, they throw the ball about, make a break in their own 25 and finish up in their opponent's 25 area. Leigh now have got a chance to make it 10-5, which would be a very interesting score for the rest of this match. Let's see if he can bring it a little closer.
So referee Kevin Allett dismissing the two Salford substitutes who are on with the water bottles. It's a very nice clear evening here at the Willows. I'm no doubt it's hot out there on that field. It's typical cup tie atmosphere, but both sides have risen to the occasion. There's been no dullness about this match from the kick-off. Paul Topping now. Well wide with that one. Salford will settle for that. 11.5 minutes of the second half gone. Salford still ahead by 10 points to 3. So it'll be Steve Carey with the dropout for Salford. Firmly in the driving seat at the moment. Leigh, of course, got to score twice to pull this one round. Here comes skipper Beardmore. Stopped just short of halfway. Rapati gets it away though to Hill. Shields now. And really these Salford forwards have dominated the Leigh six so far in this game. There goes Rapati, but Tunks is in with the tackle again. Salford seem to have an answer for everything in defence. Here comes Cottrell now. Cottrell still going. Tackle comes in from Burkitt in the end. It's the last one, indicates the referee. High up and under launch by Woods. Well missed by the fullback. Picked up by Kerry though. Salford, can they catch Leigh on the counter? Well, Salford just appeared to have too many men then. Gibson now behind the play of the ball. Salford immediately taking the game back to Leigh. Shields with the tackle 5 yards short of halfway. Leigh hands it on to Tunks. That looks suspiciously forward to Bradshaw, but Salford keeping the ball moving. Tunks now had a great game since he came on as substitute. Cottrell with the stop. Williams gets it out to Hadley. Hadley with the kick ahead. Hill goes for safety first for the visitors. Drops on the ball 10 yards outside his own 25. What can Leigh do in reply? They've yet to unlock this Salford defence. Case now, and again the tackling is as solid as it was from the first whistle by Salford. It's Bradshaw and Burgess again. Shields now, but there's no way past. Well, he does get away from Fell in the end, makes another 5 yards before Burgess pulls him down. Rapati to Beardmore, to Woods. Woods gets it away to Beardmore. Beardmore with the kick. Hadley takes that one comfortably. Gets away from Hill. It's it out to Gibson. Gibson stopped by Collier. Salford looking to run it again. Here comes Bradshaw once more. Leigh now brings in Burgess. Salford driving forward. They use the short side to Fell. Hill with the stop. Salford certainly attacking with more purpose than Leigh. Kerry gets it away to Gibson. Case with the stop for Leigh. And Salford on the attack once more. The kick comes in from Tunks. Brown takes that one. Breaks clear, Mick Round. Now how far can he go? Has he got the pace to go the length of the field? They're all chasing him, but I don't think anyone's going to catch Mick Round. And Leigh get their first try of the evening. A kick ahead from Peter Tunks inside the Leigh 25 and a 90-yard dash from Mick Round. What about that one, Jim?
Well, that was a brilliant try. Opportunist. The ball was kicked through rather aimlessly, as I say. The thing to do is to try and get points, even if it's only one. But Peter Tunks kicked the ball through that the winger snapped up and sped away. Showed a clean pair of heels to the entire Salford defence. Of course, Gibson was up on attack, as he should have been with Salford in possession. But there it is.
I think they had one eye on the ball, as well as Mick Round when he crashed through the attempted tackle from Burkitt, and he had the pace to leave the Salford defence for dead. Good covering from Salford, made him score 10 yards from this near touchline. Topping now, can he reduce it to 1 point? No, he's well wide with that one. But Leigh bring themselves back into this game now. We've got 23 minutes remaining here at the Willow. Semi-final is now Salford 10 points, Leigh 7, and no doubt that should give heart to the visitors from Hilton Park. But Salford are the team that have played with confidence from the kick-off. And these two sides met last season. Salford won here in a First Division fixture by 19 points to 6, and Leigh won the return at Hilton Park by 18 points to 10. This season they're both going to be contenders for promotion from the Second Division. But Leigh back up to their own 25 now. What have they got to offer? They've certainly back in this game now. Case on the charge. Tunks and Burgess with the stop for Salford. Beardmore brings in Shields. Good tackle from Bradshaw. Beardmore now. Collier goes without it. Dropped on by Fell for Salford. Salford will want to get points back on the board as soon as possible. Bradshaw launches that one out to his skipper Blease. Inside to Williams. Woods with the stop for Leigh. Salford almost up to the Leigh 25 once more. Salford will be looking for a try to get a cushion back. Good stop from Cottrell this time. Tunks drives in for Salford. Leigh using the short side. The Leigh defence is there this time in numbers. Last one indicates referee Allett. What have Salford got? They won't want the grubber kick again. A wild pass out to Evans. It's back to Gibson, and it'll be a turnover for Leigh. Their first turnover of this game. On their own 25-yard line. The party now on to Topping. Topping brought down by Blease. Rapati taking them on from acting halfback. Couldn't get it away to Westhead. Ball lost now with Bradshaw. Good line out for Salford. Here goes Sherratt. Looks suspiciously high from Cottrell, but he gets away with it. Leigh now going left onto Tunks. Ball lost, possession to Leigh. Beardmore comes up with it. So have Leigh ruffled the feathers of Salford. Things not going as they were for Salford. The try has brought a new spring into the step of the Leigh players. Salford know they're still in command with this 3-point advantage. Case driving him. Reparty now to Beardmore. On to Woods. Woods tries to ghost through. Couldn't get the ball inside. Salford cut the supply route off. Topping now. Beardmore to Reparty. Reparty looking for the gap up the middle. Gets it to Jeffrey. Leigh getting the ball out but going nowhere. Last one indicates the referee. Kick will come in from Woods. An easy one for Gibson once more. Takes it on his own 25. Gets away from Jeffrey. Round with the stop. Salford back on halfway in possession. Tex Evans now looking for some of the action. Good tattle from Round once more. Mark Leigh now. Brings in Sherratt. No one close enough as Sherratt wanted to move the ball in the tattle. Here comes Tonks now. Cottrell again with the stop for Leigh. Here comes Skipper Blease now. Cottrell with the vital stop again for Leigh. Last one indicates the referee. Leigh, drop goal attempt comes in. That's a terrible one from Leigh. But it forces Paul Topping to kick dead over his own try line. And Leigh will drop out from under their own post, so try for Leigh would put them in front. Great drop out from Topping between Evans and Gibson. Evans retrieves it 10 yards inside his own half. Collier with the stop for Leigh. Leigh behind the play the ball. Brings in Skipper Blease. Leigh shows the ball but hangs on to it. Leigh now on to Tonks. Good tackle though from Westhead this time, not giving Salford any room to work with. Here comes Sherratt now. And Sherratt just shrugs them off. And it's David Fell with his second try of the evening. The same combination that got the opening try. Full credit to Salford once again, Jim. Sherratt with the break, Fell with the try.
It was the same forward and the same player backing up as the first try. That, I think, could be a very decisive score with something like 16, 17 minutes to go.
Thank you, Jim. Just when it looked as though Leigh had clawed their way back into this game, Salford have stuck to their task well. They've given them the one opportunity and then blocked them up from them. And it's Steve Kerry, 3 goals to his credit so far this evening, from in front of the Leigh post. What a vital 6 points that could turn out to be for Salford. They now lead Leigh by 16 points to 7 in this Green Halls Lancashire Cup semi-final tie. And Leigh with a mountain to climb now, 9 points behind. 16 minutes remaining at the Willows as Beardmore restarts for Leigh once more. And John Woods penalised for offside. Well, that was a needless penalty for Leigh to concede right under the referee's nose. Salford looking to make a substitution. In fact, it's not a substitution. I think Peter Williams has been off receiving treatment. And so Steve Carey will kick for touch. Only makes 5 yards, but Salford retain possession. And John Woods is penalised again, this time for talking. And that is once again a needless penalty. Skipper Beardmore asking the reason for it. John Woods not happy with the first offside, but it looks as though Leigh's discipline is beginning to show signs of cracking. Salford taking the double try scoring hero off David Fell to bring Frank Cassidy on. Well, Fell has certainly done his stuff tonight. He's been in the right position on 2 occasions to score both Salford tries. And Steve Kerry now will attempt to make the Salford advantage into 11 points. So Kerry is 40 yards out, almost in centre field, right in front of the Leigh post. It's Leigh with all the problems, and Kerry is about to try and add to them. But he's wide with that one. Relief for the visitors. Salford in command, ahead by 16 points to 7 and 14 minutes remaining. So it's Paul Topping with the restart for Leigh. Fine kick, well taken. Salford almost up to the halfway line before Burgess is brought down. Tunks drives in now, takes it into the Leigh half. Certainly another score would wrap this one up for Salford. Sherratt, there's no way through for him this time, but he's made the 2 breaks that have brought the Salford tries. Cassidy quickly in on the action. Long ball which Evans couldn't take. We scrum it back on halfway. Leigh have really got to get 6 points from somewhere quickly to pull themselves back into this game. Beardmore with the feed. Referee not happy with the first scrum. It's the ball fed again. Possession to Leigh. Beardmore hands it on to Woods. Woods nowhere to go, gets it out though to Hill, but Leigh go backwards as Williams is up quickly with the tackle. Topping now, brings in Westhead. Cassidy in on the stop this time for Salford. All these Salford players are hungry to make tackles. Jeffrey tries to dodge and weave his way through, gets past 2-3 tackles up to halfway, stopped by Kerry and Cassidy. And then Leigh get a penalty. Beardmore punishes them, drives Salford back into their own 25. This is the position Leigh need, but it's points they want more than anything at this stage of the game. And another penalty for Salford encroaching within the 10 yards. So Leigh just 10 yards out. The party tries to go it alone. Salford don't fall for that one. Well, Shields knocks on, but referee allows play on. Westhead is stopped 6-7 yards out now. But this time Beardmore knocks on. Referee calls them back for the scrum. So nothing going the way of the visitors at the moment. Salford holding all the ace cards, despite being within 10 yards of their own try line. Kerry to feed. Possession to Salford. Here comes Gibson. Well, the referee shouted held eventually. Cassidy behind the play of the ball. Leigh will want to keep Salford penned in their own 25. Salford were looking to bring their big forwards in. And here comes Tunks. Stopped just short of the 25. Bradshaw now gets the ball away well in the tackle. Good play by Salford again. Salford still moving it, but good play from Collier for Leigh. He didn't take the dummy on that occasion from Kerry. Tunks again, he's had a big influence on this game since coming on. A good inside ball to Sherratt, keeping it moving to Hadley. But he runs back into trouble. Last tattle indicates the referee. Burgess is stopped on the 6th tattle, and Leigh will get their second turnover of the game. Leigh looking a little demoralised at the moment. There's 9.5 minutes remaining. There's still time, but they've got to find something quick. And nobody knows where they're going. Jeffrey tries to straighten the move up, but Sherratt and Blease are waiting for him. And really it's the Salford tattling that's got Leigh baffled at the moment. Charge this time from Shields. Cassidy with the stop. Barty onto Case. And another great tackle, this time from Sherratt. Woods now. Woods forced across field by this terror tattling, you can only call it, from Salford. They just won't give Leigh any respite. Topping forced to kick. It's a fine one, but it's straight into the arms of Gibson, and he'll take those all day. And a great tattle from Round. So what can Salford do now? Well, that was well forward from Hadley to Burkitt, and well spotted by the referee. Andy Burgess down, receiving treatment for Salford at the moment, just outside the Leigh 25. So Leigh have a temporary one-man advantage, and head and ball at the scrum, but Burgess quick to join the fray. In fact, Ian Sherratt wants treatment as well. Salford want to make a substitution. Tunks going off, possibly feeling the effects of the long trip from Australia this week. Scrum eventually gets down. Leigh come up with possession. Jeffrey forced back inside, tattle by Evans. Leigh in possession on halfway. Party out to Beardmore, to Woods. Woods again given no room by Whiteley. Whiteley just come back on to replace Tunks. Salford just can't get enough action from their players. They all want to be in on everything. Case on the drive now. Beardmore. Leigh going around in circles. Onto Ledger. It's the second row pair of Bradshaw and Blease that make the stop this time. No, Barry Ledger appeared to play for that from my position. Leigh get the penalty and Beardmore wants the tap. Woods now away to Ledger. Can Ledger go through? Takes play up to the Salford 25 as Blease gets the stopping. Well, has the referee shouted held or what? Jeffrey now from Acton Halfback. Here comes Rapati. Great tattle from Cassidy though. Westhead now tries to duck under the tattle but can't get away from Sherratt and Whiteley. And feels the effects of that tattle. Beardmore now to Woods. Well, Salford know that Woods is a danger man, but they're not giving him any space to work with. Beardmore now, Shields onto Ledger, but Salford are just there in tremendous numbers and come up with the ball as well. Ian Sherratt was the man getting it back off Barry Ledger. Bradshaw now out to Cassidy. Long ball, good ball to Hadley. Great defence though by Leigh. Gibson now. Hill with the stop for Leigh. Salford eating at the clock at the moment. Leigh have got to score twice. And just over 5 minutes of normal time remaining. Salford trying to use the short side. Cottrell with the stop for Leigh. Salford varying the tactic. And the ball is ball back from Kerry. And the scrum at 10 yards inside the Leigh half. As the Leigh loose forward, John Westhead is helped off in the Salford half. Leigh come up with the ball once more. Hill tries to straighten the run up. Well, again, there's 3 Salford tattlers in on it. Woods now to Topping. But Leigh go without it. Bradshaw picks up the pieces for Salford once more. And certainly Salford in the driving seat now. Burgess tries from acting half-back but can't escape the clutches of Case. Leigh now brings in skipper Blaze. Cottrell and Beardmore with the stop. Leigh of course down to 12 men at the moment. There goes Whiteley driving in. Last one indicates the referee. Cassidy giving the signals. Good chip, but well read by Shields. Leigh get the ball back just outside their own 25. Jeffrey now. Can't get away from Burgess though. Beardmore now. Collier tries to crash through, but Leigh and Cassidy with the stop. Woods now. Throws it away. Picked up by Hill. Reparty now. Blocked after he'd made the kick, but the referee says play on. Salford on the wrist line now. Here comes Williams falling at the feet of Topping. So Salford driving forward. They've played well with the ball in their hands this evening, and they've tattled tremendously, this Salford team as a whole. They're just outside the Leigh 25. They know time's on their side. Cassidy tries to crash through, takes it into the visitors' 25-yard line once more. Can Salford finish with a try? Bradshaw on to Kerry, to skipper Blaze, a long ball out to Evans, but he gets it away well. Good tattle though by Jeffrey on Burkitt. Last one again. Kerry kicks it out of play, and we'll scrum it 10 yards from the Leigh try line. William Potter wanted to come back for Leigh. Just 2 minutes of normal time remaining here. This one's well sewn up now for Salford, Jim.
Oh yes, it looks like a Salford date in the final of the Lancashire Cup. Give credit to Leigh. They have come up against what is a very efficient and sound defence. Leigh will score a lot of points this season, despite anything to the contrary here. Not many teams are going to break through this defensive wall that Salford put up. Leigh have tried everything possible, and but for that one break when the winger made a magnificent run for a try, they've been unable to pierce the Salford defence.
So Beardmore to feed. Leigh win the scrum. Woods tries to break out, but again he's stopped by Fell and Kerry. Fell having come back on to replace loose forward Burgess. And now Potter, who's just come back on to replace Westhead. Shields still driving. Reparty gets it out. Jeffrey took that one just in time before Evans got the interception in. Cottrell now. But again, there's 3 Salford tattlers in. They're tattling as strongly as they did from the kick-off. Collier now. But Williams completes the stop on the 25, and it's the last tackle, and again Leigh have not broken this defence down, and now Shields takes over the kicking role for Leigh. Gibson will be quite happy with that one. Good tattle from Leigh by Jeffrey. Evans now. And again, Evans wants the action. The Party and Shields make the stop for Leigh as we move into added time. Salford are on their way to their 12th Lancashire Cup final. Great ball from Whiteley to Cassidy. Leigh now on to Bradshaw. Woods with the stop. Salford inside the lead, 25 once more. Cassidy now. Good ball inside. Solid defence by Leigh. Ball lost at the death by Salford. New skipper Bob Beardmore complaining to the referee. The referee will have none. The scrum 6 or 7 yards from the Leigh try line. That's where Salford want to be. That's where they've kept Leigh for most of this game. Leigh come up with the ball again. Bradshaw's quickly out to the scrum. Leigh have had a 10-2 scrum count in this match. And they get a penalty to make it an 18-10 penalty count as well. Topping puts the ball out, 8 yards short of halfway. Game beyond Leigh's reach now. Beardmore now, out to Woods. Woods trying to ghost through, gets it on to Collier, but Blease reads the situation well. So here comes Shields on the drive for Leigh. Good charge from the number 8, but Leigh wanted that a lot earlier than the time they've got it, and Salford come up with the ball now with a good line out. So here comes Fell now. Falls at the feet of Woods. Down to the timekeepers now. Salford are in the Lancashire Cup final. Fell sends it on to Whiteley. Salford just playing the clock now. Bradshaw's had a tremendous game in the second row for Salford. You can't single anyone out because it's been a real team effort. Ferry with the kick ahead. Well read though by Ledger for Leigh. Hill goes from acting half back. As the hooter goes to bring to an end this evening's Greenall Lancashire Cup semi-final here at the Willows, and it's a victory for the home side Salford, who go on to play in their 12th Lancashire Cup final, having won it on 5 previous occasions. For Salford, 2 tries from Steve Fell, 4 goals from Steve Kerry. For Leigh, the Mick Round 90-yard effort with a goal and the drop goal from fullback Paul Topping. So on behalf of Jim Arneson, this is your match commentator Derek Disley saying goodbye from the Willows with the final reminder of this evening's scoreline. It's Salford 16 points, Leigh 7.